Imagine a peaceful morning when you wake up with light, steady, and energetic legs. No more fatigue, no more painful cramps, and no more fear of falling with every step. For many older adults, that might seem like a distant dream. But in reality, the health of your legs is not just dependent on age. It is greatly influenced by how we nourish our bodies daily. If you want to maintain independence, mobility, and a positive spirit as you age, nutrition is the first key to unlock. In today's video, we'll explore 7 essential vitamins and minerals that can comprehensively strengthen your legs, from muscle function and bone density to blood circulation. These nutrients not only make walking easier, but also enhance flexibility, reflexes, and balance, critical elements for maintaining confidence in every step. Whether you enjoy strolling in the park, dancing with your partner, or simply want to stand up from a chair unaided, this content is made for you. And to begin that journey, we'll first look at the most important vitamin for leg health in older adults, vitamin D. As we age, internal changes occur subtly yet clearly. Muscle mass declines, bone density thins, and movements that were once easy, like climbing stairs or getting up from a chair, become slower and more difficult. Among the causes of this decline, one often overlooked factor plays a crucial role: vitamin D deficiency. More than just a nutrient that supports calcium absorption, vitamin D is a pillar of leg muscle strength, balance, and mobility, especially in older adults. The issue is that aging bodies synthesize vitamin D less effectively because the skin's ability to convert sunlight into vitamin D diminishes. On top of that, staying indoors more, avoiding sun exposure, and reduced physical activity make vitamin D deficiency widespread in this age group. The consequences are not minor. Vitamin D deficiency silently weakens muscles, particularly in the legs, leading to impaired balance, poor mobility, and a higher risk of falling. Medical studies have confirmed a strong link between low vitamin D levels and muscle strength decline in older adults. One study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that older adults with adequate vitamin D levels had stronger muscle fibers, better motor coordination, and were less likely to fall or get injured compared to those who were deficient. In contrast, deficiency leads to degeneration of fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for quick reflexes when balance is lost. The result is delayed reactions, weaker legs, reduced balance, and a significantly higher risk of falling. Vitamin D is not just a bone-supporting nutrient. It directly affects muscle function through protein synthesis and neuromuscular signaling. In other words, vitamin D is like fuel that helps leg muscles work effectively. Without it, muscles weaken, reaction times slow, and movement control diminishes. Additionally, vitamin D has anti-inflammatory properties, especially in muscle tissue. Many older adults experience aches, cramps, or heavy legs without knowing the cause. In many cases, correcting vitamin D levels helps soothe inflammation and significantly reduce these discomforts. That's why those who frequently suffer from leg pain or muscle fatigue should check their vitamin D status. And it doesn't stop at bones and muscles. Vitamin D deficiency also leads to numerous other health issues, such as higher risks of heart disease, dementia, immune decline, and infections. So, if you neglect vitamin D, not only will your legs weaken, but your body's overall defense system will also suffer. What's the solution? The good news is that we can actively correct and improve this condition. The simplest way is sun exposure. Spending 15 to 30 minutes outdoors in the early morning or late afternoon with arms and legs exposed to natural sunlight can help your body produce a significant amount of vitamin D. However, be aware that using sunscreen or staying in the shade too much may hinder this synthesis. Besides sunlight, a proper diet plays a crucial role. Vitamin D-rich foods like salmon, mackerel, sardines, egg yolks, mushrooms, and fortified dairy products are ideal choices. However, food alone often doesn't provide enough vitamin D to meet daily needs, especially in the elderly. That's why supplementing with vitamin D pills is an effective and necessary solution. Experts recommend that older adults take 800 to 1,000 IU of vitamin D per day to maintain bone and muscle health. In cases of severe deficiency, doctors may prescribe higher doses, along with periodic blood tests to ensure effectiveness and safety. Blood tests for vitamin D levels are now quite common and easy to perform. Don't hesitate to ask your doctor about this, especially if you frequently feel leg weakness, have balance issues, or often experience cramps. In short, vitamin D is not only the guardian of your bones, but also a silent source of energy that keeps your legs strong, flexible, and safe with every movement. Maintaining adequate vitamin D levels not only helps prevent falls and fractures, but also significantly improves quality of life, helping you live healthier, more actively, and with greater confidence each day. So aside from vitamin D, what is the next essential nutrient for protecting your legs? Let's discover a familiar yet surprisingly powerful name, calcium. Throughout our lives, our bones are constantly regenerating. Old cells breaking down, new ones forming. But as we age, this process slows and becomes imbalanced, causing bone density to decline year after year. When bones become fragile, injuries that once would have been shrugged off can now become nightmares. A small stumble might result in a hip fracture, a cracked thigh bone, or knee joint damage. This is why calcium, a mineral often overlooked in modern diets, plays a critically important role in leg health, especially for older adults. Calcium is the primary component of bone structure. Without enough of it, bones become porous, brittle, and prone to breaking. Leg fractures, especially hip fractures, can result in months of recovery or even permanent loss of mobility, leading to dependence on others. For seniors, this not only impacts physical health, but also takes a heavy toll on mental well-being and quality of life. But calcium doesn't just sit in bones. It acts as a command signal for every body movement. Every time you walk, sit down, or stand up, your muscles must contract and relax in coordination. And this depends on calcium moving between muscle fibers. When the body is calcium deficient, this contraction process is disrupted. Cramps occur more easily, legs feel weak, and movements become unsteady. These symptoms are not only uncomfortable, but also increase the risk of falls or make simple daily activities harder to perform. So how do you get enough calcium daily? The answer lies in your everyday meals, but it's not limited to dairy products like cow's milk, cheese, or yogurt. Calcium is also present in dark leafy greens like kale and spinach, almonds, tofu, sardines with bones, and calcium-fortified plant-based milks like almond or soy milk. Diversifying your calcium sources from various food groups not only enhances absorption, but also avoids reliance on a single type of food, important for those who are vegetarian, lactose intolerant, or on special diets. However, it's important to understand that even with a calcium-rich diet, the body may not absorb it well without vitamin D, a carrier that transports calcium from the gut into the blood and from blood into bones. That's why calcium supplements are often combined with vitamin D for better absorption. If you only take calcium without vitamin D, its effectiveness may be limited, and unabsorbed calcium can accumulate in the wrong places, causing other health issues. Another important point: supplementing doesn't mean the more, the better. Many people worry about calcium deficiency and end up overusing supplements, leading to consequences such as kidney stones, vascular calcification, or digestive disorders. The recommended dosage for older adults is about 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams per day, depending on age and gender. The best approach is to obtain most calcium from food and only supplement when truly necessary under the guidance of a doctor or nutritionist. Besides diet, there's another key factor that determines calcium's effectiveness, one that many people overlook: physical activity. It's no coincidence that doctors always recommend seniors to walk, climb stairs, or do lightweight training. These weight-bearing exercises stimulate bone regeneration and help calcium activate. to bond to bone structures instead of being excreted or missallocated. On the flip side, if you take calcium without moving, most of it will be wasted and could even be harmful. To put it metaphorically, calcium is the building material, while exercise is the construction engineer. Only when both work together can your skeletal frame, especially in the legs, become strong, flexible, and weight-bearing. If you frequently experience cramps, weak legs, or struggle to stand up after sitting down, consider reviewing your calcium intake and daily activity level. Even small adjustments in your diet and lifestyle can make a noticeable difference, helping you feel stronger, more energetic, and more in control. After all, strong bones mean steady legs, and steady legs mean a lighter, freer life. Don't let a silent calcium deficiency take away your ability to walk freely and independently. Start today. Every meal is an opportunity. Every step is a milestone to cherish. And now, after learning how calcium protects bone structure and muscle function, let's discover another key nutrient that supports the motor nervous system: vitamin B12. When we think about weakening legs in older adults, most of us associate it with muscles or bones. But few realize that for the legs to move in a coordinated and stable manner, a well-functioning nervous system is essential. Within this complex system, vitamin B12 plays a foundational role. Vitamin B12 helps maintain the protective sheath around nerves and ensures that signals from the brain reach the leg muscles quickly and accurately. When B12 is deficient, this signal transmission becomes disrupted, leading to numbness, muscle weakness, loss of movement control, or even a feeling of legs being weighed down like lead. That's why many older adults experience loss of balance, falls, or notice their legs no longer move as smoothly as before, without understanding the root cause. One of the earliest and most common signs of B12 deficiency is the heavy leg sensation, fatigue in the legs even with minimal movement. This may be accompanied by numbness or tingling in the feet, making walking difficult and confidence in movement decline. Many people mistake this as an inevitable part of aging, but in reality, it's a warning sign that the nervous system is being affected by B12 deficiency. Alarmingly, B12 deficiency is quite common among older adults. The reason lies in reduced absorption capacity over time. For the body to absorb B12 from food, sufficient stomach acid and a special protein called intrinsic factor are required. But as people age, stomach acid levels drop significantly, and many elderly individuals also suffer from digestive disorders such as gastritis, acid reflux, or take long-term acid-suppressing medications, all of which hinder B12 absorption. Additionally, a diet low in B12-rich foods is a common contributing factor. Vitamin B12 is primarily found in animal-based foods like meat, fish, eggs, dairy, and organ meats, especially liver and clams. Those who follow a strict vegetarian diet or have stringent dietary restrictions are at high risk of deficiency if they don't supplement properly. The consequences of prolonged B12 deficiency go beyond numbness or difficulty walking. If left undetected and uncorrected, it can lead to permanent nerve damage, impacting balance, coordination, and reflexes. Many older adults are diagnosed with motor neuron disorders or end up using canes or wheelchairs when, in fact, the root cause was simply an unrecognized, prolonged B12 deficiency. The good news: if detected and corrected in time, mobility function can absolutely recover. Many studies show that proper B12 supplementation significantly improves muscle strength, standing stability, and reduces fall risk. Within just a few weeks to a few months, individuals can notice clear improvements, from easier walking and lighter feeling legs to increased confidence with every step. So, how do you supplement B12 effectively? First, prioritize natural food sources. B12-rich foods include salmon, tuna, eggs, lean meat, beef liver, clams, milk, and dairy products. For those on a plant-based diet or with poor absorption, B12 fortified plant milks or fortified breakfast cereals are also good options. However, in many cases, especially among seniors with digestive issues or severe deficiency, using supplements is necessary. B12 in pill form or sublingual tablets can be absorbed directly through the mouth lining without needing to pass through the digestive system. In cases of extremely poor absorption, doctors may prescribe regular B12 injections to ensure sufficient blood levels. One major advantage of B12 is its safety. As a water-soluble vitamin, excess amounts are excreted through urine, making overdose risk very low. However, this doesn't mean you should self-prescribe high doses long-term. A blood test to check B12 levels can accurately determine deficiency and help tailor a suitable supplementation plan. Once the nervous system is functioning optimally, signals are transmitted smoothly, and muscles receive commands in time, making every movement more agile and reflexes quicker. This is something only a B12 sufficient body can fully experience. So if you find yourself losing balance easily, walking unsteadily, or feeling like your legs won't cooperate, don't just blame aging. Reassess your diet and B12 levels. This could be the first step toward regaining control and stability in every step you take. Now that we understand the role of the nervous system in motor function and how vitamin B12 supports leg stability, it's time to explore another quietly essential nutrient, magnesium. While many people focus on calcium or vitamin D to protect their bones, there's another essential mineral that often gets overlooked, magnesium. Few know that every step you take, every time you flex or stretch your legs, magnesium is quietly at work behind the scenes. It acts as a silent commander that helps the muscular and nervous systems coordinate smoothly, ensuring you move with grace, endurance, and without pain. Magnesium functions as a regulator in the body. It supports the transmission of signals between nerve cells and muscles, regulates muscle contraction and relaxation, and maintains a steady rhythm of physical activity. When magnesium is lacking, the body struggles to perform smooth movements, leading to sudden muscle cramps, prolonged leg fatigue, or a sensation of weakness during activity. This is also a common cause of nighttime leg cramps, sharp, intense pain that wakes people up with stiff calves or thighs. Additionally, magnesium deficiency is closely linked to restless leg syndrome, a discomfort or crawling sensation in the legs that forces sufferers to move constantly, especially in the evening or before bed. This not only disrupts sleep, but also reduces recovery after a day of activity. Magnesium also acts as a mediator that helps calcium reach the right places. Without enough magnesium, calcium tends to accumulate in soft tissues instead of being delivered to bones. As a result, you not only miss out on strong bones, but may also experience joint stiffness, calcification, or chronic pain. That's why, even if you're supplementing with calcium and vitamin D, a lack of magnesium can still limit the effectiveness of bone and muscle protection. In reality, a large portion of older adults today are magnesium deficient without knowing it, due to a combination of factors. Chronic stress, unbalanced diets, or prolonged use of diuretics, blood pressure medications, and proton pump inhibitors all contribute to the body's depletion of magnesium. This deficiency doesn't just affect muscle endurance, but also reduces flexibility and slows recovery after activity. Many older individuals report feeling tired after walking short distances, climbing stairs more slowly, or needing to pause while doing housework. Symptoms often mistaken for aging, but in truth may stem from a magnesium-deficient diet. The good news is that magnesium levels can be improved quite effectively if you take advantage of the right natural food sources. Some magnesium-rich foods include dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, amaranth, seeds like pumpkin, almonds, cashews, beans, black beans, white beans, green beans, whole grains, oats, brown rice, barley, avocados, not only delicious, but also an anti-inflammatory superfood rich in minerals. Regularly incorporating these food groups into your diet will not only strengthen your legs, but also improve digestion, mental clarity, and sleep quality. However, for those with restricted diets or difficulty absorbing nutrients from food, magnesium supplements are necessary. Recommended forms include magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate. Both are well absorbed and have minimal side effects. Older adults may notice the benefits of magnesium within just a few weeks of proper supplementation. Significant reduction in cramps, deeper sleep, less leg fatigue, and improved morning mobility. Especially noteworthy, magnesium also reduces muscle inflammation, helping to ease chronic pain symptoms that many seniors experience. Furthermore, maintaining optimal magnesium levels enhances balance and coordination, critical for fall prevention. A body lacking magnesium is like a machine without oil, prone to seizing up, using too much energy, and unable to sustain performance. In contrast, with sufficient magnesium, movements become smoother, more enduring, and lighter, helping you not only walk steadily, but also go farther. Now that we've uncovered the quiet yet essential role of magnesium, it's time to move on to another vital nutrient, one that supports muscles while also strengthening bones: potassium. Have you ever woken up in the morning with a sudden calf cramp? Or felt your legs trembling after standing for a while, even though the day has just begun? These seemingly minor symptoms are actually clear signals that your body might be lacking potassium, a mineral that plays a crucial role in maintaining muscle health, especially in the legs. Potassium is not only an electrolyte that balances water levels in the body, but also a direct regulator of muscle fiber contractions and relaxations. When blood potassium levels drop, muscle cells lose their ability to control contractions, leading to sudden muscle spasms, commonly known as cramps. This is especially prevalent in older adults, whose kidney function may decline, impairing the ability to filter and retain potassium. But it doesn't stop there. Potassium also acts as a bridge between the nervous system and muscles. It helps transmit nerve signals from the brain to each muscle fiber, ensuring the leg muscles respond at the right time and in the right way. When potassium is deficient, these signals become disrupted, leading to slow or weak muscle responses, or even situations where the legs don't respond properly in sudden moments. You may find it difficult to lift your leg onto a stair, trip more easily, or need to pause midway because you feel out of control, all of which stem from impaired signal transmission due to potassium deficiency. Another lesser-known but very important role of potassium is protecting bone structure. In today's modern diet, rich in protein, sugar, and salt, the body's blood acidity tends to rise. To neutralize that acid, the body pulls calcium from the bones, weakening them over time. Potassium helps neutralize this acidic environment, keeps calcium in the bones, and supports strong bone density, especially in the legs, which bear the most body weight. So how can you ensure adequate potassium intake every day? The good news is that potassium is found in many common foods. While bananas are the most frequently mentioned potassium source, there are actually many richer options such as sweet potatoes, especially with skin, avocados, rich in potassium and healthy fats, spinach, kale, black beans, white beans, green peas, oranges, orange juice, and other citrus fruits, pumpkin, beets, tomatoes, whole grains, and sunflower seeds. Including these foods in your daily diet not only provides enough potassium, but also adds fiber, vitamins, and other essential micronutrients. A simple meal of baked sweet potato, leafy greens, and beans can provide over 1,000 milligrams of potassium, nearly half of your daily need. The recommended daily intake of potassium for adults is about 2,600 milligrams for women and 3,400 milligrams for men. With a varied, minimally processed diet, most people can meet this requirement without supplements. However, certain groups, especially older adults with low vegetable intake, those on diuretics, or those with kidney disease, are at higher risk of deficiency and should be monitored carefully. Although potassium plays a major role in muscle, bone, and nerve health, supplementation should not be done casually, as excess potassium can seriously affect heart rhythm and kidney function. Therefore, it's best to prioritize food sources of potassium and only use supplements under medical supervision when necessary. The good news is that just a few weeks of dietary changes, adding more greens, beans, and root vegetables, can make a noticeable difference. Fewer leg cramps, reduced fatigue from standing, and steadier, lighter steps. For older adults, every fall can be a major turning point in health. Preventing falls isn't just about exercise or walking aids. It also begins with minerals like potassium, quietly but critically ensuring every movement is smooth and coordinated. After exploring potassium's role in maintaining flexibility and endurance for your legs, let's move on to another special vitamin, one that guides calcium to the right place and protects your joints: vitamin K. When listing nutrients that support bone health, calcium and vitamin D are usually the first to be mentioned. But there's another vitamin that plays an equally important, if not essential, role: vitamin K. Few people know that without vitamin K, no matter how much calcium you take, your body can't use it properly. Vitamin K acts like a traffic coordinator in the skeletal system. It directs calcium to where it's needed, your bones, instead of allowing it to accumulate in the wrong places like blood vessels, soft tissues, or joints. When vitamin K is deficient, excess calcium may lead to arterial calcification, causing blood vessels to stiffen, reduce circulation, and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. At the same time, calcium deposits in the soft tissues around joints can cause joint stiffness, pain, and reduced flexibility, directly impacting leg mobility. For older adults who already face risks of osteoporosis and arthritis, having enough vitamin K becomes even more vital. Research shows that people with higher vitamin K intake have greater bone density, lower risk of fractures, and more flexible joints than those who are deficient. Vitamin K's mechanism works mainly through a protein called osteocalcin. This protein helps calcium adhere tightly to the bone matrix, forming a solid skeletal structure. Vitamin K is the activation key for osteocalcin. Without it, osteocalcin doesn't work, and calcium either gets excreted or deposited in the wrong places. Beyond bone impact, vitamin K also supports joints and muscles directly. For older adults, symptoms like knee pain while walking, joint stiffness after sitting, or difficulty standing may indicate chronic joint inflammation. Vitamin K has anti-inflammatory effects in joint tissues, relieving symptoms like pain and stiffness, and enhancing movement flexibility. In addition, some newer studies suggest that vitamin K contributes to improving muscle strength, especially in the legs. The mechanism involves maintaining intracellular calcium balance, helping muscle fibers contract and relax rhythmically, avoiding spasms, tremors, or muscle weakness. As a result, vitamin K enhances balance, coordination, and reflexes, significantly reducing fall risk in older adults. So where can you find vitamin K in food? In fact, vitamin K comes in two main forms: vitamin K1, phylloquinone primarily found in leafy green vegetables such as spinach, kale, collard greens, lettuce, broccoli, and cilantro. Vitamin K2, menaquinone found in fermented foods like natto, fermented soybeans, common in Japan, aged cheese, yogurt, egg yolks, and animal liver. The key difference is that vitamin K2 is absorbed better and lasts longer in the bloodstream, making it more effective at directing calcium to bones and protecting blood vessels. Therefore, a diet that includes both K1 and K2 offers optimal benefits for the bone joint system. However, a special note applies to those taking anticoagulant medications, like warfarin. Vitamin K can interfere with blood clotting, so any increase in intake or use of supplements should only be done under medical supervision. For those not on blood thinners, getting vitamin K from natural food sources is generally safe and highly recommended. Even small changes in your diet, like adding leafy greens to lunch, enjoying aged cheese with whole grain bread, or including a bit of chicken liver in your meals, can significantly boost your daily vitamin K intake. If your knees feel stiff every morning or your legs ache after standing for a while, your body may be calling out for more vitamin K. Start with simple steps. A plate of greens each day may be the first move toward keeping every step strong and steady in life. And now that we've explored the silent guide that is vitamin K, it's time to look into one final nutrient on our list, a vitamin that supports muscle recovery, enhances nerve signals, and powers each step forward. Vitamin B6. When it comes to keeping your legs strong, flexible, and responsive to every movement, we often think of muscles, bones, or the nervous system. But there's another key factor that quietly contributes to the entire process: vitamin B6. This essential vitamin plays a role in nerve transmission, converting protein into muscle and reducing inflammation and fatigue, which are common in older adults. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is directly involved in the production of neurotransmitters, those electrical signals that control body movement. If the body were a symphony orchestra, vitamin B6 would be the conductor, ensuring every signal arrives at the right time and place. When B6 is lacking, signal transmission between the brain and muscles, especially in the legs, slows down. As a result, you may feel tingling, numbness, or find it difficult to move your legs as intended. But it doesn't stop there. B6 also plays a vital role in repairing and regenerating muscle tissue. Every time you walk, climb stairs, or simply stand up from a chair, your muscle fibers contract and stretch. Over time, these repetitive movements cause micro tears in the muscles, and if they aren't properly repaired, they can accumulate into chronic fatigue, soreness, and muscle weakness. Vitamin B6 is involved in protein synthesis, the main material used to patch up those damages. This enables the body to rebuild muscle tissue faster, maintain flexibility, and boost endurance. A common sign of B6 deficiency is a tingling or pricking sensation in the feet, like tiny needles under the skin. This indicates that the peripheral nerves are having trouble transmitting signals. Many older adults believe this is simply part of aging, but in reality, it's a reversible consequence if vitamin B6 is properly supplemented. In addition, vitamin B6 supports the production of red blood cells, the cells that carry oxygen throughout the body, including to the working muscles. Without enough oxygen, your legs tire quickly, feel heavy, and steps become sluggish, even after only light activity. By increasing red blood cell production, B6 improves oxygen delivery to muscles, enhancing endurance, reducing fatigue, and helping you feel lighter and more energized when moving. Another major benefit of vitamin B6 is its ability to regulate the body's inflammatory response. Many older adults suffer from dull muscle pain and poor recovery after walking or physical activity. This isn't just due to weak muscles, but often a result of chronic inflammation in muscle tissues, a very common issue when the body lacks B6. By reducing the production of inflammatory compounds, vitamin B6 helps ease pain, speeds up recovery, and improves movement flexibility. So, how can you ensure you get enough vitamin B6? The good news is that B6 is present in many familiar, easy-to-prepare foods. B6-rich sources include poultry like chicken breast and native chicken, salmon, tuna, mackerel, bananas, a healthy, convenient snack, potatoes, sweet potatoes, chickpeas, and various beans, whole grains, and fortified breakfast cereals. With a diverse diet, you can easily meet your daily vitamin B6 needs, about 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men over middle age. However, those with digestive issues, poor absorption, or on long-term medications, such as for tuberculosis, epilepsy, depression, may have impaired B6 absorption. In such cases, supplementation becomes necessary, under the guidance of a nutritionist or physician. Importantly, it's essential to take the correct dose. Overusing B6 supplements long-term can cause nerve damage, although this is very rare if intake comes solely from natural food sources. Encouragingly, once B6 levels improve, older adults can clearly feel the difference: easier movement, reduced numbness, better balance, and quicker recovery after activities. This not only enhances quality of life, but also helps maintain independence and confidence in daily living. Finally, remember this: the strength of your legs comes not just from muscles, but also from the smooth coordination between the nervous, muscular, and circulatory systems. Vitamin B6 is the bridge that ensures all these systems work in harmony, smoothly, and resiliently over time. And once that bridge is reinforced, your legs will feel not just strong, but like reliable companions on every journey of life. Dear friend, your legs are not just a means to get from one place to another. They are a symbol of independence, freedom, and the vitality within each of us. Though aging brings changes, with proper care, we can absolutely keep our legs strong, flexible, and full of energy. Start today. Every healthy meal, every small dose of minerals, every minute of gentle movement is a building block in the foundation of lasting health. Your body always has the ability to recover if you listen to it and nurture it with genuine care. If you found this video helpful, please click like to support the channel and help spread this positive message to more people. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our valuable health tips in upcoming videos.